Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I am Mulyani from class A and my NPM is 252122111022. Today I will present 3 educational podcasts that I listen. These podcasts focus on self-development. The topics include how to stop worrying about other people's opinion, how to deal with feeling ambitious but lazy, and how positivity can help us manage stress and negative thoughts. These podcasts are interesting because they explain psychological ideas in a simple and relatable way. So, the first podcast is about how to stop caring about what people think. This podcast explains how small moments can linger in our minds for a long time. For example, when someone laughs at us or when we feel different from others. Because of these memories, we sometimes shrink back. We become anxious and stop doing things we actually want to do. However, this podcast reminds us that most people are busy with their own lives. We often think everyone is watching us, but in reality, they are not. They actually have their own lives. And another important idea is that not every criticism is a mirror. Sometimes it is just other people projecting in their own feelings. So the message is to live authentically and not walk on eggshells just to please everyone. The second podcast talks about feeling ambitious but lazy. Many people have big dreams, but their actions are small because the brain enjoys imagining success more than doing hard work. Sometimes we feel hesitant and say maybe later because we are not confident about our abilities. The podcast suggests a simple solution like making to-do list, changing your environment such as studying in a cafe and giving yourself small rewards. Another important lesson is about perfectionism. If we wait until everything is perfect, we may never start. So, it is okay to try something even if it is not perfect. And the last podcast talks about the power of positivity. This podcast explains that happiness can start from small habits and small choices. However, positivity doesn't mean you must always feel happy. As humans, it is normal to cry, feel angry, or feel stressed. One helpful strategy is drawing two circles. Things we can control mean our future, and things we cannot control mean our past. This helps us to stop overthinking about the past. And another idea is writing problems clearly and thinking of 3 simple actions to solve them. And do it slowly until everything is done. So the message is that we should not stay stuck in sadness. Instead, we should move forward step by step. I listen to these 3 podcasts because I always feel what I just mentioned. I always overthink what other people will think. I am sometimes lazy, but I still have big dreams. And I always think negatively when I am going through difficult times. And from the 3 podcasts, I learned many things to develop myself. The first remind us not to worry too much about what others think about us and to be confident in being ourselves. The second explains that feeling ambitious but lazy is normal. But we can start with small steps instead of waiting for perfect conditions. And the last shows that positivity comes from small habits and learning to manage our thoughts and feelings. Overall, the 3 podcasts reminds us that we are human. we can grow slowly, take small actions, and move forward in our lives. And this is my poster for outcome listening log. The ideas comes from the three podcasts, and there are three important elements: confidence, actions, and positivity. These represent the main lessons from the podcast. Stop worrying too much about others. Start taking action toward your goals and build positive habits. And this is an explanation of some vocabulary that I have found in the three podcasts that I have listened to. That's all from me. Thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.